First up, man, I have a very, very important guest that I would love to come up here and speak about her family lineage, her foundation, and everything she's got going on in the community.
I just want to let everyone know my story just a little bit. Well, first of all, I was born in Auburn, New York, and that is where my great aunt Harriet Tubman lived the last 52 years of her life. I had six sisters, and I have two brothers. I have two grown adults, Ronald and Rashana, and five grandchildren, Kiera, Kaylin, Mia, Amaya, and Royal. And we named Royal because of him being the youngest and the last, hopefully, we'll see. But because of his ancestry history that he will be attached to. At the same time, I have a master's degree in education, and I also have my bachelor's degree in human resources. And it's mainly because I started a business, and it's called the Harriet Tubman Learning Center. That Harriet Tubman Learning Center was because my three times great aunt was not given the opportunity to learn how to read or write. And the problem is that we still have children. The education system is broken, and the children we still have that's going to school are getting passed on without having the proper training. And let's dissect that. Why are they not getting the proper training? Number one, because they are of a certain race and color. The schools are eliminating Black history today. Books are being removed. However, so far, my book is still here. I had it here just a minute ago, but I will have that in a second. We have to teach our children. One of the things that we have to understand is that during slavery, they were not given a chance to learn how to read because the slave owners did not want our children or the slaves to be smarter than them, to have some common sense. But what they don't realize or didn't realize at the time, they were still given a brain. And that brain that they had was very functional. They were able to do a lot of things that were probably unheard of. They cooked, they made up dishes, they made all kinds of things. The inventions that they have out there, a lot of those inventions were made by African Americans. So for me, continuing that Harriet Tubman Learning Center was so important. Not then, but even more so now. Our goal is to get the school reopened. And our goal also is to make sure that we raise enough funding to get it open in Connecticut, in New York, in Georgia, where I'm at, and wherever there is a school in need. That, of course, will be Maryland. The importance of opening a learning center now is to focus on our Black children or people of color, because they're not going to get passed on to learn the basics. I had a 16-year-old student who could barely read. Now, what kind of job do you think this young boy is going to get? Actually, he ended up quitting school because he knew he was behind. Even with the extra help, deep down inside, he knew that he was failing. And you can't help someone that has given up on themselves. We don't give up on them. But if they have and they don't have the heart to keep going, that we have to look at whose problem is that. We want to make it our problem. That's why we started the Learning Center. Harriet Tubman's life, it just consisted of struggles and her persistence. Whether she fought on behalf of enslaved people, which is what she did. She fought for the Union Army during that Civil War, and she also fought for women's rights. But one thing I know that she could say back in the day, and for those people who do not know who Harriet Tubman is, all I can tell you to do is to please, please go out and get my book. And it's called Harriet Tubman, Military Scout and Tenacious Visionary. The reason why it's important to get that book is because there are a lot of people in that book, white, brown, black. These are people that believed that slavery was wrong. And these are people that helped her. And so we wrote this book, and I have a co-writer. Her name is Jean Marie. So we put this, it took 2 years to put it together, but believe me, it is something that everyone should have, especially a Black family. But I just got a letter yesterday from a woman in Ireland. She's Irish. That book does not have a color on it, but she sent me a message letting know she read the book and that she's getting other people to buy more books because that Black history, they're trying to erase it, and we can let them do it. I'm only one person, but I know there's others who know that our kids need to be pulled in and helped. And this is where it really has great importance. One of the things that I did when it came to learning about Harriet Tubman, I was in the 3rd grade, finding out that I'm related to this woman. When I said I was born and raised in Auburn, New York, that's where Harriet Tubman lived. And so we had the Harriet Tubman home. We went to a lot of the places, and I'm from a family of 9 children. So you can imagine what that was like growing up with a family that large. We didn't have a lot, but we survived. We made it. So going to this place in Auburn, I find out that I'm a 3 times great niece. And my mother told me because I came home from school one day and I was told that I had a right. Now, mind you, in Auburn, New York, at that time, there were 4 Blacks in my classroom. And everyone was able to choose a person they wanted to write about. Well, none of the white kids got a Black person to write about. But we had, since there were 4, I was given Harriet Tubman. Another one was given Martin Luther King, different people. And I was like, okay, I'll write about her. But if you look in the books that I read about Harriet Tubman, she was wanted. She was a runaway. There was a bounty on her head. These are all the things that I was told about Harriet Tubman. And the funny thing is, I didn't have a choice. I couldn't say, I want to write about her. No. I was given a task and I took it home and went home and showed it to my mother. My mother she gasped. I'll never forget her face. She says, you have to write about Harriet Tubman? I said, yeah, Mom. But look what it says in the book. There's not a lot about her. Where am I going to get this information? My mother sat me down and she said, you know what, Rita? You're not going to find it in any books. You're not going to find anything about her except the negative information that you already found. I said, well, how am I supposed to write an essay about someone that all she did was bad things? That's when my mother broke it down and told me that we're related. She says, one of the things that she did when she was growing up, she didn't find out that she was related to Harriet Tubman until she was in her 20s, early 20s. I said, okay, I'm related to this woman. Wow. She said, but her story is very deep. And the only reason why my mother could not talk about Harriet Tubman growing up, and the reason why she found out when at a later age was mainly because she was a fugitive. She did have a bounty on her head, and my mom's parents, my grandparents, thought it was better for their 5 children not to know a lot about a woman who was who had a bounty on her head. She didn't want They didn't want my mother or her siblings, and they were all older than my mother. So her finding out at the age of 21, every one of her sisters, she had 3 sisters and 1 brother. Every single one of them, there was a 5-year spread. The sister that is next to my mother just turned 98 last week, Pauline Copes Johnson. My mother passed away 5 years ago in 2020. And it still breaks my heart because she was the reason why I started the Learning Center. But I know that is one of the things that she wants, that I have to get it reopened, and of great importance and of urgency. But anyways, finding out about this, I went to my aunts, I went to my uncles, and they all had different stories. Harriet Tubman was nothing like what was in the book. Yeah, they wanted her to be captured. They certainly did. But that was because she was taking money away from them. Every slave that ran away with her or left, that was money for the masters. So yeah, they put a bounty on her head because they wanted it stopped. She never got caught. And one of the things that I always remember is that when Harriet Tubman fought for the Union Army during the Civil War or whatever, one of the things that she could boast on a regular basis, that I was the conductor of the Underground Railroad for 8 years. And I can say what most conductors cannot say. I never ran my train off the track, and I never lost a passenger. Those were her words, and it was true. She never lost a passenger. And when she says I never ran a train off the track, that was because it was never on the track. Harriet Tubman, the train ride, that they called it the Underground Railroad, but it had nothing to do with a train. And they called it the Underground Railroad because it was new during that time. And they had things that they would call luggage, they would call passengers. There were certain words that they would use that was so new that people didn't understand it. So that was during a time when once I finished writing my essay and turning it in, my teacher was like in awe. Where did all this information come from? And boy, my first paragraph was, and I'll never forget, I am a 3 times great niece of Harriet Tubman, of which I am proud of. And my aunt might have had a bounty on her head, but she did help free many slaves. And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. But when my teacher graded it, I got 3 A's. Not because of the history, because we were supposed to go in our history books or do our research. I didn't put the research from a book. I had as told by my Aunt Lida, as told by my Aunt Pauline, or as told by my mother. And information where I went to the Harriet Tubman home for the aged in Auburn. This is where I had pictures. Of course, back then, our cameras were not, we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have any of those things. But I was still able to get pictures using a Polaroid, where the picture came right out. So that was my story. And I aced it without having reference from a book. That kind of changed a lot of perspectives during school. So that's my story. And if anyone has questions for me, feel free to ask.
Yes, panel. Come on, panel. Y'all got for one, we got your a beautiful silent clap because we don't want to clap in your ear or clap too loud for the people. But that was beautiful.
Thank you.
I hope everybody was tapped in. Yes, yeah, for sure. That, that's the clap. That's the loud clap I was trying not to do. But yes, come on, panel. Y'all got any questions? I'll lead it off with the. What does it mean to you to like to personally carry the bloodline? You know what I'm saying? As Miss Tubman and the legacy, how you feel like it shaped your life and how you feel like it makes you move differently in the world today.
Wow. One of the things that I am finding out there being related to Harriet Tubman, there's a lot of negativity out there. There's a lot of people who don't even believe that she ever existed. Um, People have sent me messages where this person thinks that Harriet Tubman's name was made up. Well, from the stories that I've got from my family members, Harriet Tubman was real. She was real, and she existed. My family members would not lie to me or just make something up about a person who did so many great things. So the only thing I can say is that shame on them. Their loss. But they don't.
Is there any? No, I
I
didn't
was
hear you.
just,
Go ahead.
yeah, I was just going to say that's on them. If they want to believe that she didn't exist, going around telling those kind of stories and so forth that she didn't exist, that's on them. But I'm from Auburn. I've been to the Harriet Tubman home. I've talked to people that knew her. Well, they didn't know because she's been gone for over 100 plus years. But they knew the stories that passed on. There's no way that we would have a Harriet Tubman home for the aged, or because if they do their research, they'll find that the slaves that she rescued, including the people that um, stayed at the home, they had relatives, they had children, they had folks that carried on the legacy of Harriet Tubman. So that's what I want people to understand. They can say what they want to say, but the history.
Nah, I think that's so commendable. Like, I'm so happy you're here. Like, thank you so much for coming to
Thank
share the
you.
story and the enriched history that we've needed to know. Like, okay, hold on. Sorry, I was washing my dishes. But yeah, my name is Azira. I'm an activist here in DC, and I'm a huge Harriet Tubman fan. I've
Yay.
always wanted to be like Harriet Tubman in modern day. I feel like I'm related to y'all. Like we probably cousins. I
We
gotta
are.
figure it out, you know, because I feel like Harriet Tubman is the best representation for any young black girl or any black woman to know
Mm-hmm.
our power. So I look at her as an ancestor, being as though that's who we have to realize who we are. Like that
Yes.
power to think that she's a fictional character, that's how you know
Mm-hmm.
we powerful. Hello?
Right. Hello.
That's how I look at it. If somebody they thought is real, that they done depicted her to a fictional character, oh baby, we got some powerful things going on in our bloodline. And I'm
For
so
sure.
honored. Hello? I'm so honored. They probably mess around and say a Trait 5 magic wasn't real if we really write down everything that you
Mm-hmm.
done been through.
That's
If
right.
if it ain't documented, right? You hear
You
me?
feel me? They won't know how real Bird is, Trey, Wink, you know what I'm saying? Captain Bias. They don't really understand Rita Daniels.
background.
So I'm just honored that we've arrived. We here. We
Oh
living in
yeah.
the honor for sure.
With those people that are, oblivious and they live under a rock.
And this is
Okay.
this is the
What you
book
say?
that I was trying to tell you. This is it. It's called the Harriet Tubman. I'm hoping you can read it.
Mm-hmm.
From
We
her
can see it
roots in
clear.
Okay.
Ghana to her legacy on the Eastern Shore.
Okay.
Military Scout and Tenacious Visionary by Rita Daniels and Jean Marie Weeson. So I
Where
just,
can everyone find that book?
well, that's a good question. You can get it from Amazon. It's online also.
Okay.
You can go to, um, oh, geez, all the bookstores. If they don't have it, you can ask them to order it. But you can order it online. And it's a book that you want to have in your home. This is not something I'm not out for just pushing the book. You got to want to have that history in your hand. You want to have it in your home so you can pass the history on to children because the books are supposed to be removed. So far, it's not being removed. Black history continues. And one of the things people have to also realize is our history, calling it Black history, continues no matter what. You can try to erase it from the surface, but you can't erase it from here or here. That can't be removed, and it will continue no matter what.
If for those people that are, like I said, living under a rock, are there any personal stories or traditions that your family discussed to you that may be lesser known to the public? To
Well, certainly there is so many dates. Let's see here. We celebrate Harriet Tubman Day. She passed away March 10th. So that's a Harriet Tubman, that's a day that we celebrate. Um, and that was 1913. That's when she passed away. So every single year, March 10th, a bunch of us get together and celebrate her just being in existence. A person that was not afraid. She was not
Okay.
afraid to stand up to people. She was not afraid to go back to the
That's
plantation
it.
that she was
Enslaved
brutally,
at.
yes.
Yeah.
She went back and she
She
got
was
her
a
family.
G. She was
Yes,
a G. Harriet
yes.
Tubman was a G, man. And that's why I tell people like even today, like the men to try to make it seem like this lady wasn't a classic G. Like she was going back and freeing the fathers, so that they could be fathers. And this is why I say we got to know our history and know the enriched side because of course they tried to disguise it with as though she looked like some type of wild woman. Look at Asada Shakur, you know
Mm-hmm.
so that's why I say we got to know the history of who we are, where we come from, and the traditions. So knowing that we got to celebrate March 13th, you said
March 10th.
March 10th. Okay, that's good to know.
And one of the things that we do when we do that celebration, we just get with family members or we try to do something really, really great that we know Harriet Tubman would do if she was still here. We also talk about what we need to do to move forward. What
Hmm.
is it that's holding us back?
Yeah, because now we still slaves, auntie, but it's not chains no more. It's not plantations. You know, it's the internet. It's our kids. It's certain systematic oppressions that we want to know how do we modernize the Underground Railroad. Like you said, it had nothing to do with a train. So now, how do we unify, working together, and coming together? Because it was a lot of white people that assisted with the Underground
Th-
Railroad.
That is true. That is true. Harriet would go from one house to another, and that was the Underground Railroad as we know it. But I'll never forget, I was watching a television show and a black woman, oh my gosh, I could have just, if I was around her, she says, yeah, and um, Harriet Tubman, she was on that train and she was helping people. And I was like, oh my God, does she not know that the Underground Railroad was not about a train? And they had to, on that television show, they had to correct her as to what it was. She didn't even know her own Black history. But the most important thing that I could say right now is needing people to understand why her legacy must continue. Back then, she was that Martin Luther King, before Martin Luther King even existed. She did what others would not do. She was one of the only slaves that went back to the plantation to get others, mostly her family. But how many people did that? There were a lot of people
Oh,
who
we play
escaped.
Harriet Tubman.
Many
No, I was
people
reading the
left.
chat, Auntie. We got
Mm-hmm.
I had I had put in the chat that I was honored to
Yeah.
be here, and even honored for you to even be on here, being
Thank
direct
you.
lineage of Harriet Tubman, because I had the honor of playing Harriet Tubman in a play,
Oh,
and I still know my lines to this day. And I'm gonna just spit them for you right quick. Shoot, this is an honor. I'm gonna just spit them for you right quick. This is what they said she said. So I'm gonna just go ahead. Oh freedom for me. Before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave. And I said that at like pre-K. Pre-K. So that was my lines, and it was just like it's just amazing to be. That's all I wanted to say. So thank you for being on here. And I'm
oh,
gonna
I
get that book.
appreciate it. Thank you. Yes, get the book. I'm gonna put it up again here so you can see it. You know,
Harriet. Oh, Harriet. Yes, we got our Harriet up here.
You show the
Screenshot that.
bottom, military scout, and
Yep.
her name
tenacious,
is
I'm gonna
Tenacious
get that
Visionary.
down.
tenacious visionary. And then the foreword was written by Queen Mother, Dr. Dolores Blakely, out of Harlem, New York. And so I was on the Today Show just in February, where we were just doing a release for the book. Um, so we let people know that the book is out there. The book is available. On October 10th this year, I will be doing a fundraiser, and I will make sure that you all get a copy of the flyers and the advertisement, because this is going to be a dress up day.
Auntie, have us on speed dial. We here. We
It
here.
will
Trey
be,
just did the
we
peace
will.
walk on Saturday, organized the 600 plus peace walk in his city. Like when I say we here, we boots on the ground. We
I'm
we the we
talking
the
boots on the
new
ground.
modern Harriet Jimmy.
Yes, boots on the ground. We if we don't collaborate and get and come together and understand the importance of the legacy of Harriet Tubman and making sure that our children
Yes.
are not passed on, because they will not become doctors. They will
Mm-hmm.
not become lawyers. They will only have jobs that are paying $7 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you, even if they wanted to rent a house, they need to be making $70,000 a year. When I say that, because they need to have a high credit score, they need to have 3 times the rent in their bank accounts. Okay? So that means if the house that they want to rent and the monthly rent is $2,000, they need to have 3 times that in their bank, $6,000 per month, and they have to show proof. This is all mega made. Many people live check to check. and they barely making it. But they have changed the rules, which will make it harder for a Black person to get in a house. So
So
those
you
are
saying land, home ownership, like that was one of the main things that was hard
home
for us coming
ownership
up.
is even harder. They are tearing people apart. They are what do they call it? Genderizing property. They are buying up property at a low cost and then trying to I mean, even to buy a home. If you don't make millions of dollars, they're making it hard. They're making it hard for people to even purchase a home. So for me, I just tell people to get with a bunch of other people that want the same thing. Help them. Help your brother. Help your sister. And then once you get in, then this is what the other races do. The Indians, the Jews, they help one get what they need, and then they all come together and help another person do the same thing.
Yeah, that's what we got to do. And but I think that, see, nowadays it's easy to tell us that, but it's harder when it's the position for the brothers and sisters, because it's like a competitive mindset, some subconsciously. And I think that's been going on for generations. I don't think that just became a thing now, because they talk about that in the Bible, right? But I think that our brothers and sisters, the trust has been so dismantled with our own people that it's like you want to, but then everybody's for self. Like, it's kind of hard now because people have their own families. So to try
Mhm.
to, take a risk on somebody else's family that you feel, like, what is some security that we could say could help us keep the trust within trying to pour into our brothers and sisters, Auntie? Like, they don't run off on us on the plug.
That is true. So, what is it that we need to do to move forward? Because one of the things that we need to keep saying, I'm not going back. I'm not
Mm.
going back. I mean, they need to make some songs of it with those words.
Mm.
I'm not going back.
Okay, like the
I'm
old
not
Negro spirituals.
going to pay whatever
Okay,
you can do with
okay,
it.
okay. That was the
Let
thing.
me put an instrumental on it.
So when the slaves and back in the day, they knew they wasn't going back. Harriet was like, we ain't going back. So y'all was basically spitting bars, and the whole time. Can you imagine that, y'all? Like, the whole time, like, marching back in the day, like, all spitting bars.
That's right. That's right. You get them words and you add to it because these are
Wow,
things that we need to
that's
let
what we be
people
doing
know.
anyway.
We're not going
Wow,
back. You can't,
can you
I don't care
imagine that?
what you take from us. You can't take our dignity. You can't remove what we know. We
Wow.
know the history.
That's why we be freestyling so much,
That's right. That's right.
because it's in us. That's so deep.
I'm sure that some of you are probably already thinking, those are words that I can work with. I haven't done anything.
Hmm.
I just tell people, I pass it on. I tell myself that I'm just too old right now.
No, you not. You looking
Mm.
good, honey.
Wise is the word.
Huh?
Right. Wise.
Wise.
Well, I've been here 7 times 10.
Matured.
I have.
You're in a more mature state than others.
That's
Oh, you
true.
in your prime, baby.
Old gives the implication that you have no use and you're useless and you malfunction. You are mature. You are seasoned. You are enriched. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I say.
Let,
Seasoned.
us eliminate that old word about it.
Yeah.
Hey,
Enriched,
Tell him,
seasoned,
clock
mature.
it, Trey. And
But
I could really say this, Auntie. I don't know if the young brothers could say it and then not be flirting, but you in your sexy 70s, honey. Honey, sexy 70s. Yes, baby. It never look better on you. Black don't crack, baby.
it doesn't. It doesn't. Nope, it does not. But I just want people to understand the importance of carrying on this legacy of Harriet Tubman, getting the learning center back open.
Yeah, you inspire me because I think we need to write more plays like Wink just telling me how she was Harriet. Would you be Harriet again?
I sure would.
All right, that's a bet. So like even
That's a
writing more
start right
plays,
there.
you get what I'm saying? Yeah, like writing like, and then we working with you. Shoot, Auntie, what you think about that? Like, let's produce something. I did a play with Marion Berry and Denise Graves when I was in like what freshman year.
And you
Mm-hmm.
would give us authenticity, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And you would give us validation,
yeah,
validity.
yeah. We could write like a modern day Underground Railroad, and what that would
Mhm.
look like in modern times, y'all.
What you would probably call it modern day overground railroad. Overground railroad.
The Overground Railroad. That's fire.
Underground
Mm-hmm.
Railroad.
There is a business called the Overground Railroad, and I don't know if they're still in existence, but I know they used to call me a
Hey,
lot
let's do this, y'all.
to
I'm so glad we tuned in.
to
Oh my God is so good.
all
Mm-hmm.
the
And you
time.
got the facts to find out how long the voyage was. Maybe we could do half, or you know what I'm saying?
Do a part one and
And
part two.
and yeah, we can try to reincarnate the voyage. A walk from somewhere to somewhere else.
Well,
You know,
one of the things that I have been uh, told that I need to do, and that is visit Ghana. My mother and my aunt Pauline, they were they went to Ghana several years ago, many years ago, and
Because Harriet's from Africa, right?
that's her roots. Harriet Tubman was born
Thank
in
you for
Maryland.
confirming that. But she's from the DMV, but she's from Africa. Her roots is in Africa.
Her roots, and in the book it talks about her
Yay!
roots in Ghana
We are
to her
getting the true
legacy on the
facts.
Eastern Shore.
Yes. Okay.
Yes,
So you want to go to Ghana because Auntie Harriet Tubman's roots is in Ghana.
yes,
Ah,
yes.
we have the
Modesty,
facts.
modesty. Her grandmother.
okay. Her
She's
grandmother
the one that
modesty roots
was
is in the
stolen or uh, stolen from Ghana, from her roots. But she gave birth to Harriet Tubman's mama, who gave birth to.
Uh-oh.
No, the government.
No!
The government.
The fucking
No.
government. I
Oh
knew
my
it.
God, bro.
She was about to start.
I was
Damn, I was
waiting
on
for
mute.
that.
You got this shit on record. You damn right that was the government.
Yeah,
What?
nah. I was
Cause
just
what
about to
else was
ask
that? That's
her,
Oh
so they
very
was
wild.
stealing
man.
us.
The Sice Room, man, where the
Nah, she gonna come back.
underground kings reside. You feel me? They trying to block us. They trying to stop us, but
She gonna come
we
back.
gonna
She
keep
gonna come
giving
back.
y'all power through the culture, man.
We
Dang,
ain't going nowhere. Hold up. We ain't
dang. That's
going
crazy,
nowhere.
man.
What? You ain't get her
Yeah,
number?
it's it. No, I got Lakeisha on here. Lakeisha is a very, very close
Where's
patron
Lakeisha at?
of her. I think it says you got to connect your mic or your cam, Lakeisha. I can't bring you up if you don't connect one of them. That's why I was asking you if your service was messed up. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna kick you out so you can come in. And when you come in, try to at least connect your mic to see if it'll let me bring you up. Because right now it won't let me bring you up. Yeah, the government ain't stopping us, Auntie.
Auntie's
Yeah, they
back.
trying to
Auntie's
stop us.
back.
Thank you.
I don't know
Yeah.
how I got booted, but I tell you, this is, sometimes that's just
They be
the
trying to stop
joy
us, but
of,
we gonna keep going.
yeah.
Yeah,
Those were her words, and Harriet's words were to keep going, never give up.
we got to.
That's why I made a bet.
Yeah. And so now, can we push forward to like really creating a production? I think that'll be because we are in the DMV, and that is where Harriet's from, you know, and we can even cast for like historians like Frederick, who was a part of Harriet's voyage also.
Hmm.
So
And his house
where
is
was
here.
Modesty and Harriet born exactly?
Modesty was born in Ghana.
Oh,
Harriet,
okay. She was
She was
born.
Harriet
She
in
was.
Ghana
I mean, my
and
bad.
got
Modesty is the
stolen.
grandma. My bad.
Right.
She's the grandma. But Miss Harriet's
Harriet's
mother.
mother
Where was
Harriet
she? Her
Tubman's mother was born in Maryland.
in Maryland
in Maryland, and
Yes,
Miss
and
Harriet
had
was born
Harriet here
in
in
Maryland.
in
Maryland.
Maryland.
Hmm.
Yes.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, bruh.
I never knew that.
That's why
Their
I was
sister.
making the point of like basically letting it be known like our ancestors was stolen. Like
Yes,
we here, Harriet's here, but her roots is from Africa.
that's
So I
right.
don't know why people be trying to like diminish that. Like it's a lot of our stories that are like that. So the
I,
more that we
I
know
the,
our historians,
if you
you know,
referencing the debate y'all had last podcast, I think it was more of they was trying to explain that everybody didn't come over in the slave trade. They was
no,
just trying to explain from their perspective that they believed there was a lot of indigenous people that was already here. I
no,
think
and
that's
that's the
just was the
thing. We're not
battle that
saying
y'all was
that.
having.
Yeah, we're not saying that all people were stolen. We're not saying that. But we were
That's right.
saying for the ones that was, don't try to diminish us because we wanted to know our roots back to Africa. That's all. It's like because we know now what we trying to be African. No, we want to be African. We wanna be a part of the rich motherland soil. Why not? We found out.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah, me personally, I think go both ways. Lineage is lineage.
That is
You know what I'm
true.
Yeah.
saying? So wherever you do land, where you come from, or however far back you track it, you should want to honor. You know what I'm
Honor
saying?
it.
And yeah, and tell the history, tell the story as you get your own experiences and stories and traditions get passed down to you. That you continue to pass it down so it can continue to evolve. You know what I'm saying? And
And,
also
and
just be
that's and that's
love.
what I do. That's what I do. I still carry on the Harriet Tubman legacy. I also have the Harriet Tubman Learning Center.org. That's I have the website. You can always go there and visit my website. Um, yes, it's important to make sure that the legacy of Harriet Tubman continues. We're not going to let it go. We're not going to close it out. People wanted that to happen, but we're not going to do that.
Yeah, I agree. We can't. She was a top
That's right.
person in our
That's right.
history. I'm not lying. And I think it's like I said, I think it has to be more so honored in a different way, modernized nowadays, so that the children can really truly understand how much of a hero she was. And it because it's her name has been so tarnished and whitewashed that because we're the true narration of our history, we can change it as the new adults. You know what I mean? So like how you said making new music, making songs. Like I love how rappers will give reference and homage to Harriet through their lyrics. Like I feel like that's what we need to do so that our kids can really learn the enriched history
That
of
is
her.
that is true, and
Yeah.
it's a must. It must be done. As I said, we're not going back. I'm not going back.
Mm, that's such powerful words. Cause
And one of the things that people need to realize is that if they don't know where they came from, guess what?
you don't know where you're
They
going,
That's true. They don't know where they're going. They can always get a job, getting paid
but they'll be
minimum.
just over broke.
They will be broke. They're not going to be able to afford their dream home, their dreams. So it's up to us to work with our children, to let them know. Dream big, Barack Obama. Who would have ever thought he would become a president 2 terms? And the current president is very jealous. And he's trying to put stuff on Barack Obama, saying that he did this and he did that. He worked with Russia, he did that. The Russia fan was the one that's in that Oval Office today. He was a Russia man. Don't put that on Barack. But anyways, if there is any more questions, I do have another event that I have to get ready for tomorrow morning. And it's getting late.
Yes, man. We do not want to hold you. If you want to say any last words, we are so grateful. We appreciate every bit of your time and every bit of the jewels that you dropped on us tonight, and the history lessons and the HarrietTubman.org. Y'all go get the book. If there's anything you want to say to the Sice Room before you go, we are forever appreciative.
First, I want to let people know that they can get the book at the on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, the many bookstores. Mostly, it's in the black the black bookstores, or not, but it's out there. Some of the libraries you can get it from if you don't want to buy the book. But I truly believe that it needs to be in every home. Again, the book, please get it. Harriet Tubman, military scout and tenacious visionary. And that's what she was. Some of the things that I would like people to understand is that we need people to step up and give to the Learning Center so we can get reopened in many states. But it's important that everyone not forget the legacy of Harriet Tubman. Get the book, read the book.
I have a question.
Sure.
Last question. So me and Trey, we do a lot of volunteering at the youth juvenile detention center here in DC, and they just asked me for some books. So would it be possible, like, to get some donations of this book to those kids in the system? Because I think this would be a great read for them, for us to read with them, just to educate them on the history.
Well, one of the things that I'm not rich. I don't have, I work on a regular basis, but I can get you to go to my publisher, and I will try to give you the information. The publisher is Pegasus, and the person you want to speak with is the person that I spoke with. They do some donations. They will do some.
Shout out Lakeisha, y'all. We love you, Lakeisha.
Definitely shout out Lakeisha,
Where
y'all.
she
I
at?
don't know why we can't.
She said she couldn't get in.
We can't get her. I don't know. It was not letting me let her up. It said they would need to connect their mic cam before you add them.